Part
Take
two.
two.
Okay, this is the second story of Gab's testimony, and this is how she got an apartment downtown. And I'm actually part of this story, so I might be talking in this one a little bit more. But I'll let her start,
You can add in.
and I'll add in whenever. Yeah.
So because I got the job downtown, I wanted to move downtown, and so I needed to find a house by Wednesday. I got the job on Thursday, and I needed a house by by next Wednesday, because I'll get kicked out of here Wednesday. And so I had messaged so many people. I even messaged, like, someone connected me to a property agent, but all of them just didn't work. Like, no one replied, or like it's not available, the price is too high, it's too far. And the property agent said she couldn't help me because it was too short. And so it ended up I only had one house that seemed so perfect, and I was really eyeing that. And I was gonna see it on that Friday. But then on Thursday, when I messaged the lady, she said that, she just replied, sorry, rented out. I was just like, what? Like, come on, like, that was my only option. And I was so like, oh no, God, I don't have a house, and I'm still gonna go downtown on Friday I was intending to see houses, but now I had no house at all to see. And so, like, that really sucked. And so I messaged a whole bunch of more listings on Kijiji and Facebook, and none of them replied again, except for one house, which was like in Chinatown, and the cheapest, like 550 downtown, which seems very shady. And so on Friday morning, I was so anxious that I woke up in the middle of the night as well and started messaging even more people on Facebook, just trying to increase my chances. And I also told God, like, God, I cannot believe I'm going downtown with only one house to see, and if that one house doesn't work, like, I have no house at all. But I felt God telling me, like, I'm a planner, and I love to plan. Like, I plan everything, I prepare everything 2 weeks in advance, and I felt God saying that you always plan, but then this time, like, I'm bringing you to a place where it's out of your hands, and I'm going to build your faith in listening to me and relying on me. And I even had this picture of me, like, hearing God, okay, go left, go right, because I literally have nowhere to go, and God is going to guide me. And that was Friday morning, and I was like, God, like, let's not reach that stage. Like, please just let someone reply, and, like, everything will go smoothly. I'll go downtown, it'll be great, I'll get a house. But no one replied. And so even on the shuttle downtown, I was still frantically, like, messaging more people. And thank God Shania could come with me.
Yeah, I ended up having an interview that same weekend, and my aunt called me the Thursday night and was like, oh, never mind, don't worry about the interview. So I was like, okay, Gab, I could actually come with you, because she needed company, because, like, the place was super sketchy. So so when we got there, but
So we went to the first and only house, and it was not good. Like, I was willing to stay there because I was telling God, like, hey, God, if this is the only house you have, like, I'm willing to take anything. But it was not good.
it was terrible. I walked in, the stairs were creaking, my feet were, like, sticking to the floor because it was, like, absolutely disgusting. The room was so small, there was no closet, the window was really tiny, like,
there was no table. Like, this poor girl, I don't know how she, caps off to her, she just lived in a room where there was only a bed. Her clothes were in boxes, like, there was nothing, and there was no lights as well. So I was like, okay, God. Like,
and the walls were thin. The walls were thin.
Very thin.
And you're sharing with, like, 3 people.
Yeah,
and they're really
upstairs
messy.
and, like, downstairs were, like,
Boys.
6 people.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, God, like, I can take it. But then Shania was like, no, I don't feel any peace in there.
I was like, no, this place is really bad. And, like, I definitely was like, she played it off really good. She's like, oh, okay, I'll message you by tonight. I'll let you know. And the minute we walked out, I was like, you're not gonna live there. Like, definitely not.
Yeah, and so we
went to the library nearby.
Oh, yeah, we didn't know what to do because I had no other listing to go, so we really didn't know where to go, and it was really cold, and so we ended up in the library. And so at the library, I started looking for more listings again, and, like, just messaging even more people, praying that they answer me. My messages were like, I need a house urgently, like, are you free this afternoon? We're here with you.
One guy.
Yeah, and so one guy replied us, but his house was 45 minutes away.
By walking.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to take public transport, so we were going to walk everywhere, much to Shania's annoyance. So we told him, like, okay, we'll get lunch first, and then we'll keep to your place.
Before 4:30, by 4:30 we said we would have been there to meet him.
So we went to eat lunch at a dumpling place, and during that lunch, like, I was just so disheartened. I was just like, God, like, you've led me to the job, you've led me downtown, now I'm downtown with nowhere to go. And Shania shared this story.
We were, like, praying every 5 minutes. We were praying. It was like, she was so anxious. So, like, every 5 minutes we'd be like, okay, God, we really need to find a place. Okay, God, now this is another thing I need to talk to you about. And I remembered a story about my youth pastor back in Trinidad, and it was about him paragliding one day in Colombia. And this is, like, when he got his anointing to become a youth pastor. Like, he was paragliding off a mountain in Colombia, and he fell. His paraglider decided to, like, fall apart. So he used his parachute, and his parachute started to tangle up. So he started to spiral down. Within 2 minutes, he would have hit the ground, and he was at 8,600 feet from the floor. So he started to spiral down, and in that moment when he hit the ground, nothing was wrong with him. Like no bones were broken or anything. But the problem was that he fell in the middle of a forest in a jungle, and he was alone. And people thought he was dead because all the signal and everything was gone. So they thought he was just dead, and they were looking for a dead body. And in that moment, he just started to praise God that his life was saved. But at the same time, like he was like, okay, God, like you need to help me out of this jungle. And I told Gab, like I felt really led to tell her about the story because I felt like she was feeling that way because she was just in the middle of nowhere downtown, lost, looking for a place to stay and trying to find where God was leading her. And like that's exactly what he experienced. And like he said that in that moment, he just sensed God telling him to go left, to go right, to go up, to go down, up the mountain, down the valley. And God ended up leading him straight to civilization. So when I told Gab that, like she started to cry, and in that moment we started to pray, and we were like, God, like if this place that we just found, if that's the place that you want us to go, we'll go. And then she said that I actually sent a no from God. So in that no, like where do I go? And I was like, you just go left, you go right, and God will direct you where you need to go.
So I replied that guy, like I replied that I found a place that is nearer my workplace that I'm interested in, and so I won't be coming. And that reply took so much faith. Like I knew that God was growing my faith even through that reply because I did not have another option, and to let go of the only option I had, like I knew that was really God challenging me. That okay, can you trust me that I will provide a place? And so I started to pray like, thank you God that you already know where I'm gonna stay, you know who I'm gonna stay with, you know which roommates I have, which building, which apartment, and you're gonna lead us there. You're gonna tell us go left, go right, like exactly where to go. And so after we prayed that, like it was just replaced with peace. And so Shania and I started like looking for more listings again, and I could not believe like we were in that Chinese restaurant, like on our computers, on our phones, like just googling like for Kijiji listings, and like the waiters could see us. I was so embarrassed. And yeah, Shania.
Yeah, so I was on Facebook looking at rental places nearby, and every single place I looked at, Gab was like, no, it's too far. No, that's too up north. No, and I was like, you know what? I should just stop looking, right? But then eventually, like I found this one place, and I'm like, is this close enough? Like, it's a good price. And she's like, yeah, anything, I'll message it. So she just started to message a bunch of people randomly. And she's like, I'm downtown and I want to come now if you're free. Because we were like, we want to find a place today. We don't want to come back. So she just started to message these random people. And one of them was the one that I sent to her. So then...
Oh, and then, like, I had completely given up all my requirements. Like, the price didn't matter anymore. Like, I had a budget. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to message everyone. I don't need a bed. I don't need windows. I love windows. I love sunlight. But I was like, okay, I'll take a basement. Like, I don't care. Like, just give me anything. And so after we prayed that prayer, like almost immediately this person replied, and I didn't even know who because I messaged like 50 people, and she said that okay, I'm leaving at 5:30, so you have to come before then. And we looked at our clock.
It was 4:30.
Yeah.
And it takes a half hour to get to where she was.
And Shania was like, tell her we'll be there by 5. And I was like, I don't even know where. And so it was like those movies where we ran out of the restaurant and then we stopped like, where are we going? And we didn't know where because there wasn't an address. But we knew like, she said, oh, it's close to this intersection, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, we'll run there and then we'll figure out where the address is. Hopefully she replies then. And if she doesn't, like I said, God will direct us to which building, which apartment it is.
But it was raining. And it was windy. I almost blew away. She was like, no! But yeah, it was raining. I did not have a jacket. I had a hoodie.
Oh my god.
And we ran in the rain for a half hour. I literally, while running in the rain, I was like, can we just take an Uber? And she's like, we'll get there and we'll get to that spot and then we'll take an Uber. And then I was like, you know what, Gab? I'm doing it for the testimony. We want it to be good. I'll run in the rain for you. So we ran in the rain. And while running, then the person actually messaged us the number of the building.
Yeah,
So,
and while running, I was just laughing.
She's laughing at me.
Number one, because Shania like put on her hoodie and she closed everything.
I couldn't see anything.
So she's bumping into everything. I was like, what you see? And number two, it was just like the absurdness of this whole situation that here we were downtown running in the rain, running to somewhere we didn't know where.
Yeah.
And like how I even got into this situation, I would never imagine myself in this situation.
Yeah, and I was just like, we should be laughing in this like unsure situation. And like in that, like I kind of knew that God was in it because we still were joyful despite that we were so confused and so lost. So then we...
And cold.
And cold, yes.
So
We got there.
reached the building and she texted us where. And we went in and it was way better. Like she was showing us the amenities, the tour, like I was just blown away because it was way below like even what the very first house the price of the very first house that I wanted. I think it's even cheaper than Arendelle, to be honest. It has a window, it has a bed,
Has a closet,
a closet, a table.
has a gym, a pool.
Yeah,
Wow.
Laundry,
place,
yeah, study rooms.
God, yeah, the first house we saw did not have laundry. It was just way better than anything I could have ever imagined. Even the location
So
is
Bay
on the
Street.
same street as where my work is.
Wow.
And so like
And there's groceries nearby.
yeah, right
everything.
next to it.
Maintenance, security.
Yeah, the maintenance is taken care by the building. Like we don't have to call anyone if anything breaks down. And so when the landlord like I agreed almost immediately because I knew that God was directing us there, and it's way more than I could ever ask or imagine. Yeah, and so after we left, like we actually went back up to the
We
bathroom. We went to the common bathroom, like near the swimming pool or something, and we just prayed in the toilet. Might include a clip of the prayer because I filmed it, because I was just like us praying in the bathroom, and just like we were just so shocked and just looking at each other that in the last 1 hour we went from in the restaurant to like finding the place, the person replying us, running to the place, seeing the place, and accepting the contract
within an hour and a half.
And so that was just like, I know that it was God building my trust and faith. And I felt God asking me, like, did it really have to reach that stage where you have no other option before you decide to ask me to lead you every single step? Or now knowing that my ways are so much higher than yours, so won't you trust me and listen to me for each step, rather than waiting until you have no other option? And so that's the lesson for me.
That's it. Bye.
The airport. The airport.
What airport?
Airport. You almost got killed by an airport.
Oh! Oh, fun fact. I almost got killed by an AirPod because like we walked out and we were looking for a grocery, and the building next to us is like almost 25 stories high, and a guy's AirPod fell from the 25th or 22nd floor, and it literally almost hit me from like the ground outside the building, and like I saw it and I was like, hello? Jesus, send the other one if you want me to have this. But no, like then we ended up breaking into the building and giving him it back. And the building is so new and amazing. But that was just a fun fact. I don't know, like if that was God confirming that he was there. But like, and that he saved my life from being killed by an AirPod. But yeah, like that was a cool thing that happened. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are encouraged by the story. Good night. Bye.